Guys, sorry I look like this. I just got done working out in my living room, but in part of my blinds in the background, my cat likes to destroy them all the time. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick job update. So the doctor came in and watched me perform my physical, and I got signed off on that, so I can do physicals now without like a trainer in the room with me. And I actually had to do my first counseling on someone who tested positive for Hep C. And whenever somebody tests positive for any hepatitis or HIV, we can't tell them the results over the phone. We bring them into the facility, bring them in the office, and we tell them. We aren't like a diagnostic center, so we don't actually know if they have it. It could be a false positive, it could be a false negative. So we do an initial test and then a confirmatory test. We also give them paperwork to take to their primary care or the hospital or wherever they go, health department, whatever, to get a thorough testing done to really confirm if they have it or they don't have it, but we tell them to live like they do have it until they find out for sure. So I'm good with that. I do physicals by myself. I also learned to do the setup on the machines. So I put the bowl in the centrifuge. I set up the blood pump lines, the anticoagulant lines, and the saline line with the Y connector, all that good stuff. And then I also discontinue people now. So when the donor is done and they get their last saline return, which makes them really cold usually, the machine will beep like 6 or 9 times really fast, and they'll put their hand up. And once their hand goes up, we know they're done. And I go over there, and we have these little burner things that will burn the lines so that no blood or any saline or anything comes out of them once they're fused together. So I do that, and I take it down, put the blood bowl in the biohazard with everything, and then I give the donor their sticker to go check out and clean off the bed, restock it with more materials for the next donor. So my new job is going really well, and I learn something new every day there, and everybody is really nice. They're always willing to help me if I don't know how to do something, or even if I want to learn something new that I haven't done at the facility, they're willing to teach me, which I love. I also love that even though we get busy bursts, you know, people will come in, we'll have like 50 donors at one time just rushing through the doors, and then we'll have like I call them dead spots, dead zones, where we're just bored and we have nothing to do. So I will stock the supply cart for the phlebotomist, or like I'll clean out the desk or clean off the exam table, and it's just going really well. And I know at my last job, a lot of people, they were upset to see me go, but they were happy, you know, that I was going to be making more money and just trying something new. And the great thing about the nursing field is that you can go anywhere. And I loved OBGYN, but I'm making more money for less stress. I'm not working for 2 or 3 doctors at one time and hooking up NSTs and giving injections and doing all kinds of stuff at one time and being stressed out. Like, I go to work and I have no stress, and the day goes by so fast because if I don't have any physicals coming in the door, I'm on the floor and I'm discontinuing people, or I'm setting up machines, or if somebody has a reaction, I'm there to help that person through that reaction. And speaking of reactions, I had my first lady have a seizure, and once you have a seizure at our facility, we have to call 911. She was AMA, against medical advice, and she did not want to go in the ambulance to the hospital to get checked out. But anytime you have a severe reaction like that, you are permanently deferred from the facility, and you cannot donate ever at our facility. So she was just really thankful that we were there to help her throughout the whole thing, because she thought that she just passed out or fell asleep. But she was actually convulsing, and she made a gurgling sound. She was biting on her tongue. She was incontinent. She lost continence of her bowel and bladder. So I took her to the bathroom. Once EMS got there and she said, "No, I'm not going," I gave her a Gatorade, because basically I can, since she refused to go in their care. and she kept saying, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But I walked her to the bathroom, and since she did defecate and urinate on herself, I got my manager to let me take a pair of extra scrubs we had, and I gave her the scrub pants, and she was very thankful. She just kept saying, thank you so much, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, don't be embarrassed. Like, this is why we're here. This is why we have the job we have, is to take care of people, you know, in case you guys have a reaction like this. And I'm glad that I finally got to see a real severe reaction. I've seen plenty of infiltrations. I've seen a lot of just lightheadedness or vasovagal reactions. You know, their blood pressure plummets so they get lightheaded or dizzy. And we just give them, or hot, and we give them ice packs on their chest and on the back of their neck, and we fan them, and then usually they're okay. But that was the first, like, severe reaction that we were called for. And it was, I don't want to make it sound like it was awesome, but it was awesome because my nursing skills got put to use, you know. And I'm just really glad that I took that leap of faith and tried my hand at a new nursing job, because, like, I'm making more money and I'm less stressed, and I actually I liked going to work when I worked at the place I worked before, but, like, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to work. It's not, oh, I'm going to work and I'm going to have 35 annuals and a bunch of pregnant women, and I have to give 10 glucolas today, and I have to do injections, and I'm working with this doctor in the morning, and then this doctor in the afternoon, and this doctor likes intake sheets, and this doctor doesn't. You know, I don't have to worry about any of that anymore. We have one doctor, he comes in once a week. That's it. And he'll look at any of the reactions that we had, and he'll sign off and be like, yeah, they're okay to donate. You know, they just had their blood pressure plummet, which is normal, or like the seizure. He's going to look at that MIR, the medical incident report, and be like, no, she is not allowed to donate, obviously, because we already told her she wouldn't be able to donate anymore. And she kind of knew that, but she never had them in her life, and I tried to get her to go get checked out because seizures are serious, coming from someone who has them. And she was like, no, I think I'll be fine. All I had was a banana to eat today. But I really don't think that, you know, just having a banana would cause that, because she went through the whole donation process and she was on her last return and then it happened. So it's hard to tell. I really wish that she would go get checked out, but it's her wish. You know, she can do whatever she wants. So I just wanted to update you guys. I'm so sorry I look like this. I look horrible, but I just got done working out. Yeah, my new job is going really well. Thank you guys for supporting me. And I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I have to update them. I have to update them. And I got done working out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I might as well do it now before I forget, because I'm going to go walking with my mom later, and I also need to go to the grocery store and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm probably going to be too busy and I'm going to forget. So that's my update. Thank you guys for caring. Thank you guys for asking me, you know, questions about my new job. I know you guys were curious. And I'm getting a lot of comments and stuff about people that are going to be starting nursing school and people who are graduating nursing school. So if you guys have any questions about any of that, please feel free to ask me. I need to go through all my comments because I know a couple of people have been commenting on some of my videos and I haven't got back to them. But yeah, I'm getting ready to go shower and then I'm going to go to the grocery store. But yeah, my new job is going really well. Life is like looking up, you know, like some days are going to be better than others, and you just have to really just push through those really bad days. But I love my new job. Like, I don't have anything to complain about, really. Like, we have 30-minute lunch breaks. I wish we could have at least 45 or like an hour, but that's really all there is to complain about. Like, everyone's really nice. And I'm still kind of in training with like paperwork wise, like certain forms we have to fill out. And if I mess up, you know, everyone's just like, hey, next time you do this, you need to do this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. And they're like, no, don't worry about it. So yeah, it was definitely worth the switch. I'm glad I gained the experience that I did at my first job, and I got to learn that field a little bit. But I really like working in this field, and knowing that we're saving lives is even more awesome. So yeah, that's my update. The jets are starting to fly again. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, thank you. I'm glad they're going great too. Hello. Yeah. Wow, people are starting to comment now. Okay, I'm not just talking to myself. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are happy for me. It was, I'm not gonna lie, like, when I put in my 2 weeks at my other job, I was like, the first thing I thought of was, what if I take this leap and it sucks? Like, what if I don't like it? What if I don't catch on, you know, and get in a rhythm and learn the things they want me to learn? But it's so much, every job is the same thing every day. You're gonna get in your own rhythm. You're gonna get in a rhythm, and you are going to have ways. Yes, it is all about taking leaps of faith. So you're gonna have ways of how you do your job. Just like at my job when they're training me to set up machines, I'm right-handed and some of them are left-handed, so they have certain ways of pulling the tubing out of the certain stopper parts. And because I'm right-handed, I do things a little bit differently than them, but it's all about how you do things, and it's all about repetitiveness, and the more you repeat things, the better you're going to get. And the best thing about training at a new job is when you make mistakes, I especially am the type of person who learns from my mistakes. And when I first started there, like, I told the people that were training me, like, I love constructive criticism. Like, if you come up to me, if I do something wrong, and you're like, hey, Amberly, next time do it this way because the way you did it makes this happen, I'm going to listen. If you come up to me and be like, oh no, this is all wrong, don't ever do that again, that literally goes in one ear and right out the other, and in my head, I'm like, you are so rude. Why would you talk to me like that? I'm new. Like, you should be helping me, not putting me down and making me feel like I'm stupid, you know? So constructive criticism is the best way to teach me, at least. Some people like constructive criticism. Some people don't like criticism at all. But I am new. I'm the rookie. So I expected to be grilled. I expected to be yelled at. But luckily, everyone who trained me and is still training me and helping me, you know, do my job there if I need help, they're really helpful and they're really nice about teaching me the new things to do. So it was worth it. When I put in my 2 weeks at my other place, I was sad because I developed relationships with my patients that I started seeing, you know, especially my OB patients once a week or twice a week, you know, and I wanted to see their babies and everything, but I just couldn't deal with the stress level anymore. And ironically, the other day when I was walking at the park with my mom, I ran into a girl that I worked at that OBGYN with, and she's leaving. And I asked her if anything had changed, and she was like, no, people are still running ragged. People are still working for 2-3 doctors at a time. There's another girl that's leaving that I was friends with there that had just started right when I put my 2 weeks in. So she hasn't even made it like a couple of months. And I just wish that administrative personnel would realize, like, when you have good nurses that choose to leave, you need to look into why, not just ask why and let it go in one ear and out the other. You need to ask them why they're leaving, find the cause and reason why they're leaving and fix it. No nurse, you know, every now and then filling in and working for 2 or 3 doctors is perfectly fine with me. I don't care. But if you are going to constantly make us work with numerous people, what are you doing? My cat's going crazy. If you're going to make us work with numerous doctors doing a crazy amount of work all at one time, we're going to get stressed out. We're going to get burnt out. Like, no one wants to deal with that on a daily basis. So here, I literally go in, clock in. I can go sit in the office where we do the exams at. There's 3 exam rooms, and I just pick one, and I sit there all day. Or I can hit the floor, set up machines, help discontinue, and they really appreciate the phlebotomists and DFTs, which are the donor floor techs, really appreciate it when the phys subs come out on the floor and help them, especially when we're slamming, because it just helps keep a steady flow. And sometimes the machines are out of commission and, you know, they're being worked on. So if we're short machines, that means we have more donors waiting for an open bed. Sometimes we have to do spot seating. So just helping them keep a steady flow. I'm a team worker, and I just want to keep it in and out, in and out, in and out. And they love it when I'm on the floor because I'm more than willing to help them. And a lot of them are like, wow, you work so hard, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I'm a nurse. Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to just stand around and sit in the phys sub room because I can't do that. My ADD or whatever, like, I have to be doing something. And yeah, the other thing I realized is I'm starting to work out again, and I'm starting to stay really busy at work. And the more I work out and the more busier I am at work and just keeping my mind occupied, my anxiety level has dropped tremendously. And I know once I start paying off some bills and stuff, I really want to start going to therapy and starting to wean myself off of my depression and anxiety medication. As far as going back for my RN/BSN, like, that was my ultimate dream, but I just don't know if I'll be able to do it because I'm going to be paying on my LPN loans forever, and with my anxiety being the way it is, I don't want to start school and get so overwhelmed and go through what I went through when I first started LPN school, like not being able to pay my bills, working 2 jobs just to try and pay my bills, you know, on weekends working doubles, you know, stuff like that. And the shifts at my new job, they're kind of crazy. Like, they have opening shift, which is 5:45 to 2:15. They have morning shift, like 6:30 to 3. They have 8 to 4:30. They have 1 to close, 12 to close, 11 to 7:30, 10 to 5:30, you know, stuff like that. So it would kind of be impossible for me to go back to school, because the thing about where I live is they make it impossible for you to go to school and work, okay? They literally, it's like the programs in my area make you choose, like, hey, do you want a great career because you have to go to school full time, or do you not want to go into debt? And they also want you to work so that you don't go into debt, so you have to choose one or the other. It's not like, okay, you can go to day school, work at night, and then, like, it's so hard. It's just so hard. And it's always been my goal to get my bachelor's, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, if I get my bachelor's, primarily in my area, LPNs can work anywhere. They can work in hospitals if it's like a rare opening. If I get my RN/BSN, I would have to work in the hospital to make the big money, and I kind of don't want to do that because eventually I know at some point I'm going to end up in a nursing home because I miss geriatric patients. Right now, I'm just kind of putting my feet in all the water and just really trying to find my niche of what I love. And I like my new job now, and I'm going to stay there, of course, until I see where it goes. Like, if my raise comes around and it's not a good raise, or if I stay there a couple years and I'm not climbing up the ladder like I want to be, of course I'm going to start looking. But at this point in time, I'm completely satisfied with being an LPN. LPNs are just as smart as RNs, and we work just as hard as RNs. RNs deal with a lot more paperwork. And yeah, it would be great if I could say, oh, I'm an RN and I have my bachelor's, my BSN. But I also, like, when people ask me, oh, what do you do? What are you? I just say, I'm a nurse. And the first thing they say is, oh, do you work in the hospital? No. And it's like, not everyone is going to be an RN. There is an LPN or LVN, vocational nurse. Nursing is nursing. Like, 90% of being a nurse is caring. You have to have the heart to care for other people. 10% of it is the hands-on part where you're actually caring for that person and giving them their medication or bathing them or hooking them up to a plasma machine and getting their blood work, drawing their blood. That's what nursing is. Your title, to me, like, this is my point of view, obviously, but your title has nothing to do with how smart you are, how educated you are, or anything like that. As far as my anxiety, yes, I'm very open about my anxiety, and like, a lot of it comes from having the fear of having one of my episodes in front of people again. Like, that's where 95% of my anxiety comes from. Like when I go into big crowds, like if I go into Walmart, or that's why I've been avoiding the gym. I'm scared I'm going to have an episode in front of people and they're not going to know what to do. That's why anytime I go somewhere, I like to have someone that I know with me in case something happens. And yeah, I'm on medication and I don't understand why I'm so scared, because I just don't understand. Like that's anxiety. And like as far as me panicking on the interstate, I don't do that anymore, which I'm so blessed about. And I've been going over bridges. I haven't done tunnels yet because I'm still kind of eerie about the tunnel. But I'm gonna see if like my boyfriend one weekend wants to go through the tunnel on the other side of town and just see if I can go through the tunnel. And if not, you know, people are just gonna have to deal with me stopping and putting my flashers on and going around me so we can trade seats. But I've started to learn that tackling my anxiety head on is the best way for me to tackle it. Like, I still haven't gone to the gym like I want to go to. Like, I'm dying to go to the gym. Like, I want to lift weights. I want to run on the treadmill. I want to do the stair climber. But because of my anxiety, I've been holding off. But I'm realizing that the more I do things that I'm scared of, the more it eases my anxiety when nothing happens. So when I go to Walmart and nothing happens and I go to checkout and I get back in my car and I leave and I go home, I'm like, oh my gosh, nothing happened. I feel great. So I'm slowly introducing myself back into things that I used to do before my anxiety went to 1,000%. And I just feel a lot better. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm working out, I'm eating right again, and I'm drinking a lot of water, and I'm just not thinking about things that I used to think about, and I think that's helping me. So yeah, I eventually want to wean myself off of Lexapro and just deal with my anxiety naturally, but until I get everything under control 100%, I can't do that. And there are times on the interstate, I was rear-ended, like 2 weeks ago, and now, like, on the interstate, when we slam on brakes, I get really scared, and I breathe, like, I have this thing where when I get anxious on the interstate, I hold my breath, and that just makes me panic even more, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and I just start freaking out. So I have to get all that under control. If people in my area could drive, it probably wouldn't be as bad, but they can't drive, especially when it rains. So there's that. But life is going good for me, and I love having the support from you guys. I love talking to you guys about my life, nursing, Dollar Tree hauls, whatever. Yeah, so single mom with too many bills, like, I don't even know how you're doing it. Like, my anxiety, I had financial anxiety too, especially when I was in school full time, and my bills were just, like, steadily piling up. I couldn't imagine throwing kids into the mix. I would freak out. Yes, definitely Virginia. It's ridiculous. Like, people slam on brakes for no reason. They don't know how to merge. They slam on brakes when people are merging. Like, I don't get it. And that's the other reason why I'm so glad I have my new job, because when I work 5:45 to 2:15 or 6:30 to 3, there's really no traffic at all. Or if I work 1 p.m. to close, which is usually 8:30, 9 o'clock, no traffic at all. And I'm like, yes, like, I'm getting in my car, I'm going home, and I get home in like 15, 20 minutes. If, like, this morning I left my boyfriend's house and it was like 8:30, 9-ish, dude, traffic was bumper to bumper, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot deal with this anymore. How do people work a standard 9 to 5? Like, I was freaking out. And it was all over stupid stuff. Like, people trying to merge from the right lane into the left and getting on the overpasses, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, get it together. And then when I see people on their phones, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, you're part of the problem. Just put the phone down, you know? But yeah, that's VA for you. So yeah, back to what I was saying, single mom with kids, I don't see how you do it. More I don't know how you do it. If I had kids thrown into that mix when I was going to school and doing everything, I don't know how I would do it. I don't know how I would do it now because things are so expensive. Even when you're trying to be self-conscious of what you're buying and you're getting like the off-brand, like if you go to Walmart, instead of getting the Lay's chips, you're getting the Walmart brand chips, you're still spending a whole ton of money. And everything in this country is so expensive, and no one's pay is really going up enough to accommodate that raise in food and milk and essentials. So that's why people are working so many jobs, and it's taking, you know, both parents, or, you know, your teenagers are getting jobs to help their parents pay the bills, because it sucks. Adulting sucks. But luckily with my pay raise, I'm living so comfortably now. Like I have so much money left over after I pay my bills. It's not even funny. And I've even started paying off other debt that I've had since nursing school a year and almost a year and a half ago. Like, I'm starting to pay off my debt, and my credit score is slowly but surely crawling up and getting better, and that's one of my goals. You know, when you want something in life, you just have to work really hard to get it. If you're a single mom with kids and you're supporting your kids with a job, or if you're just a young adult and you want to go to school for something and you're trying to work and go to school, make good grades, get your projects done, like, when you want something in life, you'll do it. It might take forever. It might seem like forever. It might take you a year. It might take you 3 years, but you can do it. I'm waiting on the list to get into nursing school. I need to make more money so I could take better care of my son, and my anxiety will go down. I work as a CNA. I don't get paid much. How long were you in LPN? Okay, so yes, keep waiting for that nursing school list, because it's totally worth it. And since you have a child, I don't know how old your son is, but and I don't know how it works, but people who have kids get money all the time to go to school. So make sure you look into all of your financial aid and financial options. Make sure that when you're in school, you're looking into the places that they are making you borrow money from, because Sallie Mae sucks. I have 2 loans from them, and they charge me interest out the butt, and it sucks. He's 14. Okay. So it is, you just make sure that you look into how you can claim him while you're going to school to try and get more money to supplement the income that you weren't making as a CNA. I don't know if you plan on still working as a CNA and going to school part-time, or if you plan on going to school part-time, working full-time, or if you just plan on cutting out work and going to school full-time. Whatever works for you. Just make sure you look into your financial options on how to claim your child and get the most money from the government. How long was I in LPN school for? So the program I went to was 14 months, but I ended up doing it in 18 because when I was with my ex-boyfriend, I took off like a month to go home with him before he deployed for 8 months. And so when I went back into school, I had to get another loan from Sallie Mae to cover the semesters I had left. And I still ended up graduating. I'm working as an LPN. Like, it all worked out. But he was deploying, and I wanted to be with him at that time. So I decided to take a leave of absence from school. And boom, that's what I did. Also, if you're planning on going to school full-time or part-time and trying to supplement your income, you can start a blog or a vlog and try to make extra money off of that. And like, I would do side jobs with my dad just to pay my car note or just to pay my phone bill. So if there's anyone around you that needs like just little doodads done, you can do that. Yes, I will be working and going to school at the same time. Oh yeah, so your LPN school is only 10 months, which is amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. I wish mine was that. It's probably a lot less than mine too. So yeah, as a teenager, he probably needs money for sports. He needs money for Taco Bell and everything that teenagers do, which is understandable. And it's good that you plan on working while going to nursing school, because there's another jet about to fly over. But when I was a CNA going to nursing school, like, whenever I did certain things in my mods at school, like wound care, if we had a resident at the facility I worked at, the nursing home, that had a wound, the nurses that knew I was in nursing school would let me dress the wound with them. Like, they would educate me on why we're doing this, why we are... Taco Bell, yeah. All teenagers love Taco Bell. Like, it's amazing. Wait till he starts driving. That's where his gas money is going to go. So, yeah, like, the nurses that knew I was in nursing school, like, they would let me do the wet to dry dressing, or they would let me wipe off the wound and cleanse it with, like, the saline and apply the bacitracin ointment or anything like that. Like, it's good that you're a CNA and you're getting ready to go into nursing school because you already know how to take care of people. And that is, like I said, 90% of nursing. You have to want to care for people. You have to have the heart to do it. And just like when that lady had the reaction and she pooped all over herself, everyone was like, oh my God, it smells so bad. This is disgusting. What do we do? And I'm like, you have to help her. Like, you have to clean her up. She crapped her pants. This is embarrassing. You know, a grown woman crapped her pants. And that's why I went to my manager's office and I was like, do we have any towels? Do we have any type of clothing we can give her? Because she literally soiled herself. So I talked her into giving me the pair of scrub pants. And she's in the bathroom and I'm giving her wet paper towels to clean up because we don't have baby wipes or anything like that in the facility. And we keep it moving. Like, and she's like, I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, this is why I'm here. Like, I'm a nurse for a reason. I'm here to take care of you. This is not, I know it's embarrassing for you, but it's not embarrassing for me because this is nothing. You know, I was a CNA for 3 years. CNAs literally deal with the dirtiest work possible. So it's so good that you're a CNA and you're going to go into nursing school because nothing phases a nurse. Like, nothing scares us, especially when you're working your way from the bottom to the top. So going from CNA to nurse, you're going to be in there and you're just going to be like, oh, I've dealt with stuff that's worse than this. So nothing will phase you and you're just going to get in there and do it and get jobs done because the phlebotomists that work the floor, they're not nurses. So when someone has a reaction, they don't know what to do and they kind of freak out. So it's our job to calm them. It's our job to take care of the person having the reaction and just calmly tell someone in the area to, I need you to go get an ice pack. I need you to get me gauze. I need you to get me this. You have to be calm. You're the nurse. You set the tone and the mood for when someone has a reaction. You set the tone and mood when you're taking care of someone. Now my boyfriend's texting me. But yeah, so you can do it. 10 months. I know that budgeting is really hard, but start a vlog. Try to make extra money vlogging or blogging. Do extra side jobs if you can. Pick up any shifts that you can. And try, like, even if you're only putting 50 cents aside, you know, in your savings account, try to save a little bit of money before you start your nursing school program. That way you have money to fall back on in the event that something happens. Say you fall short on your bill money for the week and your car note's due and you have an extra $150 in your savings. Boom. Say you need $50 for groceries. There you go. Yes, try to save any type of money. What I do is, even though I only have $11 in my savings account now, but that's better than zero. I always look on the bright side of life. Just what I do at the end of my pay period is when I know I'm about to get paid, I look at my bank account and I'm like, okay, I'm going to put, say I have blank amount and 83 cents. I'll choose a random amount and I'll be like, okay, I like even numbers. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to put $5 and that 83 cents in my bank account. And then that's how my money is slowly just adding up. Putting 50 cents, 83 cents, an extra dollar in your savings account, even if it's just once a month, you're still saving money, you know? And times are hard. My boyfriend just got a new car and he told the sales lady, yes, of course you can share something briefly with me. Times are hard. And he was like, my credit's not the greatest. And she was like, guess what? You're like 95% of the rest of the people that come in here and have crappy credit. It's just the way of life now. People are working so hard to maintain a household, pay their bills, get their credit up, take care of their kids, work, grocery shop, cook meals, have fun, go on family vacations. It's getting harder and harder to maintain a stable life in America now. And people are just like going crazy. Like some people are just saying, screw it, and I'm going to live life, and we're going to have fun and use the bill money to go on vacation, and get behind on rent or get behind on the mortgage. Other people are being strict, paying their bills, getting groceries, making meals, and having $3 in their bank account. I know there were times in nursing school when I would pay my car note, pay my phone bill, go buy ramen noodles at the grocery store, and the next morning, if I checked my bank account to see if I had enough to get like a bag of chips out of the vending machine at school, I would have 12 cents. And I'm like, you know what? 12 cents, it's better than being zero. It's better than being in the negative. That's just how you have to look at it. And you just have to work hard for things you want, and you just have to find where your spending is going. When my boyfriend got his new car, he was scared that he wouldn't be able to afford his payment, and I was like, you know what? You need to go home, sit down, and look at where your wasteful spending is going. And he was spending $400 some a month on Taco Bell, Wawa, 7-Eleven, stupid stuff. And I'm like, you cut that out. That's your car payment right there, because his credit was horrible, and he was still paying on his other car that he traded in. So they rolled that payment into his new car payment. So that right there, he was like, you know what? I can't afford the car if I just cut out all this stupid spending. Yes. So that's awesome. Starting that to be ahead is going to be amazing. And taking that class and being a CNA, you're going to be very ahead of a lot of people. And don't be surprised that when you guys start clinicals, if your classmates start running to you like, hey, my patient crapped all over themselves. How do I clean them up? How do I do this? How do I change a brief? How do I do a bed bath? You're already going to know how to do all of that. The fundamentals of nursing, I mean, that's the first class that I did. Yeah, so you definitely want to prepare yourself for nursing school, and make sure that when you're taking that PCT class, you are absorbing everything, and make sure you keep everything from that class, because you can refresh yourself. Some of your textbooks from your nursing program might not have something you're looking for, and you can look back on the things that they give you. Or you can take experiences from the class that you're about to take and use that in nursing school. But some of your classmates are probably going to run to you for certain things because you're a CNA and you're going to be taking that class and you're going to know more than them. And that's really what counts. So I had people running to me all the time to help them lift their person, help them adjust them in the wheelchair, help them do the nail care, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, this is like second nature to me. Fundamentals of Nursing was the easiest classes for me, because it's basically learning how to be a CNA. You're learning how to transfer someone from a bed to a wheelchair and vice versa. You're doing bed baths. You're dressing the client. You're changing a brief. It was just so easy because I was already a CNA. It was just like second nature. Like I felt like I was at work playing with the dummies at school. So you're basically already ahead anyways because you're a CNA. And that's why I highly encourage people that aren't in the healthcare field to at least take a PCA class or become a CNA. Get in the field somehow to see if you're going to like it. Yeah, playing with the mannequins, because the mannequins at our school, that's what we used before we hit the clinical sites, and that's how we learned to insert the catheters. And then don't be surprised when you're using the mannequins at school and then you go to clinical or actually get the hands-on experience and your instructor is like, all right, go ahead and insert that catheter into this patient. Doing it on the mannequin is completely different than doing it in real life on a human being, especially a female. especially an older female, because the urethra gets closer to the vagina, and when you're looking for the urethra, you kind of have to get all up in there to really find it, because if you insert the catheter tubing into the vagina, it's no longer like sterile, so you have to take it out and get a new catheter every time. So don't be surprised if you feel really anxious doing what you learn on a mannequin on a human being, because it is completely different. You're going to get patients that are going to be willingly letting you do those things. You're going to get patients that are like, no, I don't want a student. I don't want her doing this. She don't know what she's doing. So you have to prepare yourself for that as well. But nursing school, it was seriously just the best experience of my life. Like, nursing is what I was born to do, I feel. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't doing nursing. Like, I would have to start all over. I don't have any other trade. I don't have any other hobby. I love being a nurse, and I love sharing my experiences with you guys, and I love helping you prepare for your nursing school journeys. I love being there for your nursing school journeys, and if you guys decide to make YouTube videos throughout your nursing school journey like I did, I would be more than willing to watch them. And I'm always here to answer your questions when you start your journey, or if you're thinking about starting your journey. Just make sure that the number one thing you have before you start is two things. One, the mindset. You need to keep your end goal in sight of, I'm going to be a nurse, I want to be a nurse, and I'm going to be a nurse. This is my graduation date, and nothing is going to stop me from graduating. If you fail a class, make sure that you re-enroll and take that class again and beat that class. Like, I failed a class. I failed a class. And that was because my teacher was very crappy. I got very disheartened. I was like, I'm quitting. I can't do this. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that class again, and I'm going to beat her. Like, I'm going to study on my own. I'm going to make my own notes because she don't give me notes. I went in there and I aced the class. So make sure you keep your end goal in sight, whether it takes you the 10 months, whether you have to take another class and it takes you a year, if it takes you 3 years. Becoming a nurse is a journey. There's no timeline on becoming a nurse. Like, if you're in the program, you're in it. In it to win it. Doesn't matter how long it takes you. Second thing is, make sure you have your finances, like, outlined. You know what you're paying every month, and it has to be the things that matter. Cable doesn't matter. Internet matters because you're going to need to do your homework and research for papers, but you don't need TV to survive nursing school. You need your cell phone because you might need that at clinical. Like, our teacher would let us Google certain medications if we didn't know what it was, or if we were working on case studies, we could look up diagnosis if we couldn't find a good diagnosis. Also, make sure that you look into the places that your school is willing to help you get loans from. Like I said, Sallie Mae sucks. They charge you an insane amount of money and interest. So make sure that you really look into where they are going to be borrowing your loans from, because you don't want to be paying more money in interest than your loan amount in general. And what I did was, even though it didn't help me now that I'm looking at my loan statements, but I tried to pay $50 a month during school once I enrolled towards my Sallie Mae loans, and it didn't help me because my interest is so high. So try to defer your loans while you're in school. That way, once you graduate, you have the 6 months to find a job and then start making money, and then start slowly putting money to the side for when your loans do come out and you have to start paying them back. The TIAS test, I don't really know what, is that like the entrance exam with math and English and all that? I don't know what that is. I can't remember. I don't even remember doing that, to be honest. The TIAS test. I'm trying to think. Really the only tests that we took was, we did Kaplan. Kaplan was 20% of our grade. And it was impossible to study for it. Yeah, okay. So no, the entrance exam I have a really low battery. It's about to die. But the entrance exam wasn't that hard. Like, it was basic math, but they also had, like, geometry and stuff thrown in there. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I suck at algebra. I suck at geometry and stupid stuff like that. But I aced the English part because I love writing papers and I love all of that. And then they had, like, the reading section where you read the paragraph and answer questions about it. That was easy. The math is what really got me, and that's why I didn't place into the RN program. So I got into the LPN program, and that's it. And when we did dosage calculations, I went to tutoring, and I really wanted to get a handle on it, and I had my classmates that were good at math tutor me because I knew I suck at math. But dosage calc was actually easy for me because I liked it, because I knew it was involving nursing. I hated math during high school and middle school because I knew I don't want to be like a scientist or anything like that. Why do I need trigonometry? Why do I need geometry? And in real life, I have never used any of the dosage calculations that I learned in school, obviously, because I'm not working in a hospital and I'm not working anywhere that needs it. A lot of people have told me, and when I Googled NICU nurses, ICU nurses, they use a lot of dosage calc because they have to have certain amounts of medications for the babies or for the patients that need it. But yeah, my battery's about to die, so I'll make a new video soon. I hope that answered some of your questions, but I'm going to charge my phone. I might hop on later, but I need to go shower. I need to go to the grocery store. I got so distracted. This video is so long, but I'm going to post it so that whoever missed the beginning, you know, you can go back and watch or just reference this video for anything. Hi, Remy. But I hope you guys enjoy your Wednesday, and I'm going to go to the grocery store, and I'll make a new video for you guys soon. You too. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm gonna go shopping. I might go to the Dollar Tree or something, but yeah. I hope you guys have a good Wednesday.